All right, here we are with Angel de Cuba.
Hey, G, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up, Angel?
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Angel,
Yeah.
please tell me, how did you start playing music?
Well, give me a second, man. When I was a child,
Where?
in Havana City, I got all those crazy neighbors around me that all the time they were checking my body that like I was an instrument, and I always say, why? I was a little shy, like very, and suddenly, almost every day, I remember my great neighbor who really even equally with my dad. He pushed me to be a rumbero and a dancer the way I am nowadays.
How old were you then?
You won't believe it. I remember those days, those years, man.
How
I'm
old
talking
were you?
about three and a half or 4 years.
Wow.
I remember that he used that Mario in the backyard of my home. I mean, that was a big home that we call in Cuba Los Solares. Well, most of those musicians from Cuba, that's where they come from. Solares, Pere Prado, Bebo Ades, Chucho Ades. Most of us, we come from the Solares. I'm sorry. I apologize. Some of you wasn't raised that way, but that's what I know about from that place where I come from.
What? So you, the building you grew up. Okay, so did your father play with any famous people?
Well, James, fortunately, out of the whole blue, he, by being a kid and learning by himself, self-taught, right?
Yes, self-taught.
He picked out the conga performed by himself perfectly. That was that great that he could play with the top bands in Cuba. Just to mention one, El Niño Rivera, the man who's transformed El Tumbao del Tres in the whole country. He was the main percussionist in the band. All how he learned, he didn't go to no school. Nobody taught him. He did all this the information he got to teach himself. He got it by himself. Nobody know how he did it, but he did that. And I remember when I was a child, his sound, his technique was out of the map. Seriously. Yes, and he played with Niño Rivera. Then he decided to play with the La Orquesta Riviera. That was the dad or the lead band of that orchestra that's still in Cuba nowadays that we call La Orquesta Revés. By the way, I'm singing some of these covers with my friends Jose Luis Matanzas. Right, he played with us, right?
Yes.
See.
So, how did your career start as a performer?
Well, it's a crazy story, but I would think it's interesting because I don't think that so many people start their early times into the music scene the way I did. I started to imitate instruments that I couldn't afford in Cuba because you know the situation, the political situation with the Cuban government and America and the rest of the world. That embargo really is not affect anybody but the regular people, how we call the people, la gente de a pie. The one that I represent el cubano de a pie. Who got no family on top.
The common people, we say.
Common people, right. Mm-hmm. So, fortunately, my dad, by being with those bands, some of the people, by listening to my dad reproducing the sound with his mouth, they give a couple of instruments, string instruments, as a present. Cuando estaba cortando caña, calling the sugar canes, you know, to feed the family and get something on the table to feed us. Mm-hmm. But there was no way out. Anybody who decided to stay in that place, they gotta do it either way. So you got nothing to survive over there. So fortunately, some of his friends giving a guitar to my dad, and I tres las congas. I don't really know how my father get a hold to buy the congas, but there was no way for anybody to find any of these instruments that represent our culture in Cuba. But fortunately, my dad ended with bongos, güiros, maracas, tres, guitar, and I pick out the tres cubano, tres. When I was a child, I put my finger there, and suddenly I was at doing tumbao. At a very early age, I learned my own too. Yes, that's how one of the things that made me put myself into music. Better say, be by on the side of my dad and my neighbors. But this is what happened. In my early years of to be a teenager, the international music was breaking into music, whether the system liked it or not. They couldn't stop that because Cuba is a country 90 miles from Key West. So I remember when I was around 11 years old, 10 years old, there was that radio show that they called Now. Yeah, there was that singer from America, jazz singer. She was introducing the show on the radio, and the excuse to play the music in Cuba was the African American, because Cuba system is all about to say something against America. Because for the government, they are the enemy, but the country people, everyday people, they are not. We always love American culture and how people see Cuban culture and American culture have ever been divorced. Never. And by way before my 10 years and 11 years, I remember this was the virus I got in my brain. Until now, the people say, you are crazy. Tú eres cubano. You should be a sonero. You should be a guarachero, a rumbero. But people,
so, in other words, you should play and sing traditional Cuban music.
Yes.
But what did
I
you
was
want
born
to
like
do?
that. I was born like that with into the Cuban music. But by the age of 8 years old, my uncle, Julian, a bass player, because all my family were musicians. He got a neighbor, and that neighbor was playing this loud music beside his home when he was practicing his soneo with my dad. My dad used to carry on Pancho. Maybe you saw Pancho in Cuba, right? El tres de mi papá.
See,
Pancho. My dad bring Pancho, my uncle bring the upper bass, and that was en Pogolotti, cerca del plante, or Abacuá. That couple blocks, that was my uncle's house, and my dad, he bring me into his home to jamming with my uncle and my dad. That was my dad on tres, my uncle on bass, and me playing the congas. Little baby, we are talking about 8 years old kid. I was already doing it. But when we take a break, every time we were taking a break, my uncle got a neighbor that got a family in New York. And this family they got in New York was sending him all the records from the 1969 in America. 68, 69, 1970, 71. We are talking about that James Brown. When James Brown was claiming to the top of his game, and the Jackson 5. What I remember was I say, look, those kids, they got a bicycle. They got a nice pantalon de campana. How you call the pants in America? They were like
bell bottoms.
bell bottom, man. Bell bottom. They look so cool. Como decimos en Cuba, tremendo swing que tienen esos niños. They look so cool. I wanna be like those kids. And they got a pictures. They got a pictures moving in live concerts. And I say, they may be moving this way. When the music, they were playing the music on the breaks of our jam section in my uncle's house, I was moving, imagine how they move, because I never get a hold of a video of any broadcasting. Was sort of about the sound with the imagination in my mind, how they move. And I pick out the move from James Brown by just watching how they look in the pictures. Seriously. Yes. Bang. And I started to get crazy. Try to imitate the Jackson 5 and James Brown. That was my intention to break into the music business in my early days. Cuban music and African American music. And guess what? I never stopped, James. Never. I never stopped. I remember when back into my 10 years old, my first performance. This is how I started my first performance in my life. In Cuba, they taught us all good things about the Cuban Revolution, all the things. But anything outside the Cuban Revolution was the enemy. But that music attacked me so much that I say to myself, I can't wait to learn, because I know I gotta learn the language to sing these songs. I'm gonna sing how I listen. And people thought I was singing in that language. I mean, this language I'm talking right now. I may have accent or my phonetic is not right, but I think it's enough somehow. and I started to entertain the kids in the break. That was my first performance. I remember, let me see, I'm gonna try how the kids react. I'm gonna try. I seen this song from James Brown. Get up now. Bang! And I was playing that, how you say when the children, the table the children used to write notes and things.
Desk?
The desk. In my desk. Bam! And my teacher went out and said, I'm gonna get in the front. I test the teacher's desk, right?
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly like the drums I will listen on the records. James, you believe those kids got crazy. My first performance singing funky music, but I got a little flavor from Cuba thing. Those kids make that much noise that the whole school gotta get alarmed. Then suddenly, the director from the school walk into that classroom. I say, and she say, I will listen to you. You are making the kids here crazy, playing the music from the enemy. I'm gonna call your parents. We're gonna punish you for that. I remember. I say, you can call, it's okay. I will play music. And they like it, and maybe in the future you will like it too. Who knows? But anyway, that's the beginning, James.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but then you started to sing and perform with groups, professional groups.
Well, when I would say, like 2 years later, in my 12 years, when I was 12 years old, I got the opportunity to join the La Casa de la Cultura. Was a community singing cultural affair for children who want to learn music outside the regular school. Because when I was 8 years old, I was trying to walk into the elementary school in music, but there were so many kids in Cuba with talents, with ability, that only they approved the people who were really connected with the elite. Because I remember that the 2 times my mother take me into the school, those teachers, they get like they couldn't close their mouth. This kid got special ability. This is not normal. We haven't heard any kid at this age reproducing the sound. We were trying to give it a hard time, but we couldn't. We give out on him. We're gonna call you for sure to give you got a special you got a special kid. But I never get a call, James. But I never did stop either. I was learning the language I didn't learn to sing the songs. I don't know what God or what it was. That lady had showed up from the middle of nowhere upstairs in my home from Jamaica. And she said, I've been listening to you trying to sing the music in English. I'm gonna teach you. From my 10 to my 12, that was my first English teacher I got. That was my first time I started to missing. I was sending her the music I wanna sing. I was introducing music from Stevie Wonder, Jackson 5, Commodoros, all the things that was how I started in my early years. So when I turned 12, I was trying to learn the bass guitar. But the studies as a bass guitarist in Cuba, that was something that wasn't there yet. We are talking 1970, 1972, around that time. So I started to study opera bass. So what happened? When I was getting so good in my studies, maybe the guy is around Miami, man. Maybe he may be around his 70 now. Jose Luis, if I ever see you, I thank you because you introduced me in this thing for real. And Jose Luis, he left to Miami. I get without teacher. That was my main frustration, but I never stopped. I was learning. When I turned 13 to 14 years old, I started to join the street of Havana, underground street of Havana, the funky soul, jazz dancers, street dancers. We got special places in area where nobody knew that we were doing that, and we learned how to move with funky music, some music that down the line, the hip hop music, they show out. Yes, and my 15, I was a killing. 15 to 16 years old, I was a killing hip hop dancer. All we did, all the kids in Havana, the underground life, we met in a group. We go to la casa de Tizo, Casa de Tizo, con Michel Pandielo, Miguelito La Peste, Bombón, all the kids, and we start to collect information how to move with funky, hip hop, rhythm and blues, jazz. I become a killing dancer. Killing. So yes, that was one of my all the crazy things I did in my early years that would define who I become later on. You got another question, Jim?
Yes. So that's when you were a teenager.
Yes.
So then when you got older, you played with some professional groups that brought you to the outside of Cuba.
See, well, this is what happened. In these early years, by the age of 16 years old, I met a great guitarist from Oakland that he was doing experiments with music, bringing the sound of the Bay Area and exchanging music. And I saw this guy, Mr. Paulo, know this guy, this great guy, and I thank you because you really Menendez. This guy, together with another guy named Orlandito Guayas. These two guys, I used to go to the supermarket. 15 years old, 16 years old kid. In my way, I saw that band rehearsing in the garage. I say, wow, these guys sound like those instruments sound like the music I listen with my bodies and when we get together to practice hip hop and funky music, blah. Wow, so trained. Then I find out that Paulo was from the area, Bay Area, and then in one of their break, I start to play this instrument right here. Right. That was an instrument I learned in the first place. And they say, man, you got it good. How you can play like that? So John, where you studying? say, no, my dad teach me, he's a musician, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then I remember this guy, Arango, I forgot his first name, the Ernesto Simpson, Orlando Cubayas, they started to play the jamming, they started to jam. And I started to sing with the style of gospel, improvising gospel, and this guy say, wait,
Gospel.
gospel style,
Like a church.
the church.
Gospel. Yes. Mhm.
And the guy jumping their feet, they say, how you learn to sing like that? I say, well, I have been trying for a long time. This is music I like, but yo soy rumbero de Solal. I am a rumbero from the Solal. And wow, bam. Then like a couple of weeks after, I don't remember exactly. Later on, right? I met Pablo. He came down. The music was playing, blah blah blah, and his son Osamo Menendez. Osamo, he's a guitar player for the America TV. That kid. He say, wait, we hear you play this and you sing like that, and how you get dance like that? Nobody saw me dancing. Then he say, hey, you know what, man? I wanted to meet my dad. So I came over Pablo home. Pablo get surprised. And he say, wait. Don't do anything. How old are you? I'm 16 years old. You're gonna be the lead singer in my band. I say my dad's a musician. He said it's gonna be difficult here. He say, you are a phenomenon. Pablo say, you are a phenomenon. Nobody gonna stop you. And I say, I wanna join the music. The food process is cool. Because I already apply, I'm gonna get started in case I cannot play no more music. I got this, blah, 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 blah. And Paulo say, you're gonna lose opportunity. I didn't listen to the master. I joined the school. Wow. All I was doing in that school was play music. music. We got many contests, festivals. All this arrangement I was doing in the band was made by me verbally against
So you were
National School of Music.
You were in a band?
Yeah, we built a band in la Escuela de Química. Music, food process school.
Okay.
We built a band, and most of the kids, they got skilled on music, but I put them to rehearse intense. So what I'm doing here is nothing new. I was doing that for life. Then we won most of our contests. We did a festival and things. We won. All were made in arrangement by ears. The same way my dad learned the music, that was passed to me. So, but I remember Paulo met me a couple of times later on, and he say, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm about to finish school now." Say, Angel, you know, el Luiso. Yo soy el Luiso. We almost spinning around the whole world. I think you waste your time. You are a singer. You are a showman. Why you did that? I'll wait for you. Don't worry. I'll wait for you. Do whatever you want. Bam, bam, bam. I end the gyms. Pinning. When I graduated from the food processing, I couldn't find a job. I ended pinning,
Painting.
painting buildings on the outside. I remember there was a couple of guys that got in an accident, and they got in trouble with their life. I say, I don't think I can do anything better than music. I'm gonna get back to my dear. And my dad say, I hear what happened. Come, I got something for you. You wanna still painting what you're painting now, what you're doing now? I mean, you wanna do that? I say, what's going on, Dad? He say, I got a band for you. You're gonna be playing percussion and do a background vocal. I could be doing it, but I'm okay. I'm playing with this band now. Armonía 4. I don't remember. Armonía 4-8. I'm not so sure. That was Omar Aportuondo. Okay. Pío Leiva. Puntillita. Most of those guys in the Buenavista Social Club, they were playing with my dad. And he say, I'm comfortable with these people. I'm talking about 86, 87, around that time. That was a couple of years after I graduated from the food process school. 86, I graduated in 85. I would say 87. So that's how I started to play professionally in that band, Campesino band.
What was the name of the band?
Renacer Cubano. Renacer Cubano, who was the lead band, was one of the greatest percussionists in New York in the 40s.
So, but eventually you got with Grupo Mezcla, with Pablo.
Well, before Mezcla, I want to experience, because I knew Mezcla for me is gonna be the peak of what I was trying to achieve. There was nobody else who could do the job on behind or together with me, with my ideas. Me and Pablo Menendez, we sit down every once in a while to debate, right?
Debate.
About how to mix sounds and things of that nation, and how to find a fusion with the music, global music, and contemporary music, but I wanna experience all the currents of sounds in the island, all the different examples that also performing in Cuba. I'm talking about a Latin, like what people call Latin jazz. I always say my own Afro-Cuban jazz. And cabaret, show. I want to experience everything before I hear the pick. For me, all the bands in Cuba, they are good, they're great, but Mezcla, for me, is a conclusion of a sound that have favorite sound in that island. Mezcla. No, because I was a member of that band. Paulo, that band conclude the sound of Cuba, in Cuba. No Cuban music, but the sound that plays in Cuba. So I was first a member of renacer cubano. I started as a percussionist. But later on, somebody listened to me singing, and that body said, I don't see you in that conga. You gotta try to go in the front and sing the songs in the front of people, in the front of all the people. Oh, I want to read the time, blah, blah, blah. Angel. And so I tried a couple of songs. Bingo. Yes. Mm-hmm. People react like crazy. Wow, this guy got a voice. Blah, 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 blah. I remember I get back in the congas, and I remember my friends who was a lead singer. He got things to do that he wasn't performing anymore as a singer. That I passed to the front of the band to be a lead singer. I was 20 years old, 21 to 20 years old. Then I started to tour around the country with that band until these two guys appeared again in La Comisión de Evaluación, a panel of a different professional musicians that was doing audition.
Oh.
To see if they approve me as a professional singer or not.
For the government, right? The government.
Cuban government.
The Cuban government had to approve
yes.
you to become a professional.
Yeah, remember that many people got very angry because many people didn't get the skills that I earned with the almost superhuman sacrifice I did. I was on the Chinese bicycle, spinning around the whole place, learning many things to become the one I become. And yes, Puntillita, I saw Puntillita for the first time in my face. Puntillita, Pio Leiva, Emilio, Joaquin.
This was the audition? Your audition?
The audition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What year was that?
I would say 1991, 90, 91. That was very, very difficult time. That was a very difficult time for me. That was 8 people in front of me to see if I make any mistake to put me back in the school or something. Mm. These people get out and say, no, we don't want you to sing no more. It's all good. It's all good. And I remember Puntillita, he came towards me and holding me in my shoulders. That little guy in the Buenavista Social Club, the guy who said there in the movie, oh, look at that building. Almost gonna fall on my head. That guy came to me and hold me in my shoulder like that. With wide eyes, almost crying. And say, my son, how old are you? And I say, I'm 20, I remember 21. How you learn to sing like that? You know, another time, you were the king. No hay sonero de tu edad. ¿Cómo tú tienes esa voz? Who are you? Where you come from? Who your family? How you learn to sing like that? And the other guy, Pio Leiva. I'm talking the two top guys that remind your life in 80, from the 80 to the 90 and there until when I was a club. And the guy say, you know, in another place, your voice is a million. It's a million pound of gold. But all that we can say here, you are welcome to the business. You are welcome to the business.
We're gonna run out of space on the
Yeah.
phone. So.
Okay. But that was the beginning. So from that time, when I was approving legally performing, all the bands from Cuba, they walk into my home looking for myself. But what I want to do, only one band could do it. That was El Grupo Mezcla. I passed by Tiempos Nuevos, the Show Cabaret Band, and Grupo Cauces, Latin Jazz. In those years, I was performing, doing jam section of Zorro del Cuervo. Pablo walked back again into La Zorro del Cuervo and say, "Are you ready now? We gotta do something good now with the everything you know." Then I was all over the country, all over the broadcasting in Havana.
So that's when you started to play with Pablo Melendez,
With Pablo Melendez.
and Y Mezcla.
Then Tito Puentes y Carlos Santanas, they listen for what we achieve recording, and they say, "You and this guy and this band, we gotta spin around the whole world, but we gotta do this tour here." So that was the beginning of a new life here in America.
So you went on tour with
ready.
Mezcla. You went on tour with
Give me
them,
my freedom.
and you came to the United States.
Yes. And I find many other things in life that start to change my life for, I would say, for the best. I don't regret it, and I appreciate everybody who have been collaborating in my career, including yourself. I would say the savior of my life, music life in America. Two guys, Mr. James Cornolo, that guy right there behind, he made show his face. Mr. Brett Battling, that is one of the top bass player in jazz scene in New York right now. So we started a new life here.
So you were on tour
Yeah.
with Mezcla, but then you defected and stayed in the United States.
Yeah, I
That's how you got
decided to stay.
And what year was that?
1998.
Oh.
1998. That was a great time for myself, for my life, for music, for humanity. That was a shifting time for humanity. And these years and everywhere music was on the peak. In that peak, I was there with the music. And I appreciate to change my life in that time, that particular time. Thank you.
So when you got here, then we started to work together and play some traditional music, but also started to work on your original songs and your original arrangements.
Right, I have to remember, before that, I accomplished one of my dreams that came around 1991, 92 when I was in Tiempo Nuevo. That was to be a falsetto into the R&B vocal group, like Stylistics, Blue Magic, and I got my dream come true because I was at least a falsetto singer in that band where we joined this band together, right?
Yes.
Roots Rock Society, they were playing reggae, but the reggae was based into R&B music. Into the reggae music, I was a falsetto, so one of my dreams I accomplished, right?
That's right.
See, I don't want to erase that from the map. Because with you, Mr. Champion, I learned many things. and I appreciate it. You know. So what are your questions, James? Sorry.
So, but then after Roots Rock Society, we started to form your own group here in Chicago.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
And we started to work on your arrangements and your original songs. So, and eventually we recorded the CD.
Yeah, but remember we started that trio.
Yes.
And this trio was based in traditional Cuban music with something that I never played away from. Fusion. We mix music from Jackson 5, from Temptations, from Confusion into traditional music. But later on, we did all these beautiful, great things here.
Can you talk about the music on the CD?
So the research of that work was this great project that we started that we call the Heritage album. This album, most of the top musicians from Chicago, they collaborate with us, not only from Chicago, but people from all over the world that were based in Chicago, from Brazil, from Colombia, Hungary, everywhere. That was that CD. That was a compliment, an accomplishment of all my music career. That ending me writing all these original tunes with the help of Mr. Brett and Mr. James Connell. They give me a big hands, man. And that CD is in the air. And many times we perform officially. What I have been sold down concerts and performance, super successful. Without the selling, because everybody knows we don't have a record company, we don't even have a helping hand, but we got the faith. You know? We do it for the love. So what are your questions, James?
So some of the music on the CD is the different styles are, you could say, timba from Cuba,
See.
but also mixed with R&B, American.
See, how we say.
Samba from Brazil.
Exactly.
Cumbia
Sí.
from Colombia. Soca from the Trinidad and Tobago, the
See.
English Caribbean.
Ragamuffin. We're mixing with Haitian rhythms and Afro rhythm. What people call urban music. Urban music. I have been doing that for a long time. I remember, James, 1982. Me and Paulo had his own piece of mind. I got my own piece of mind. But musically, we are one brain. Me and Mr. Pablo. You know, musically, we are one head with two sides of a brain. That together we are the mix. We are the mescla. And yes,
So
soca. We did soca with sucus. The style from Haiti into what people call reggaeton. When I start to sing in that way, I never called that reggaeton. Sorry, 1982. Okay, 1982. Me and Mr. Paulo Menendez did a song we call was a poem from Nicolás Guillén, La Canción de Bongo. We mixed that with the Jamaican style that wasn't even Ragamuffin. Reggae dub, performed by Mr. Gentleman. I did that in Spanish with Paulo with the machines in the first place. Ragamuffin, Let Around, Reggae dub, 82.
And also on the CD, we mixed the rhythm of Mozambique from Cuba with American R&B.
Sí, señor.
Right.
Sí, compadre.
So since that CD, I know you've been working on more a combination, combining the rhythms of Cuba with the American R&B and jazz. Is that where you see your future in music? Creating that kind of music?
It's not a future. It's not a future, James. I did that with Mezcla.
But is that the kind of
there.
music you want to continue making?
Right.
Yes.
Continue, yes. I remember in 1994, 95, we started to arrange many tunes with Mezcla. But before Mezcla, I was already doing that with Tiempos Nuevos and Grupo Cauce, mixing funky music with la timba, la guaracha, and many other styles from Cuba. The people don't even talk about those rhythms. We did crazy introductions of the rhythms that was bringing from Africa into Cuba and mixing the rhythm into the popular music. Bantu, ritmo Bantu, Lucumí, Batucada from Brazil. We did a bunch of stuff with this, later on with Mezcla. We did a lot of crazy working too. Yes.
And so that brings us up to the present time. And also people might want to know that in addition to music, you've been very much into health, bodybuilding, nutrition, teaching people about exercise and nutrition. That's also been a very big part of your life.
Yeah.
Living healthy and helping other people live healthy.
Yeah, now that's a result, James. Me taking care of myself physically, that have been helping my brain to keep generating ideas. Now, one of the things you were talking that we expect to be a little bit away from the topic is the fusion rhythms I did in that heritage CD. Mixing Mozambique con el funky, the James Brown, Prince, Jackson 5 into the Mozambique del Peor Africano that I call Mozambique Funk. Okay? Mozambique Funk. Okay? Yeah, we did that. And also we did another R&B music that we mixed it with songo. That was basic in the Bible. Phrase that when Moses was coming down from the Egypt, he said to the Pharaoh, "Let my people go. Let my people go." But I don't want to make anybody so tense when they listen to my music. And I put it, the feelings innocent behind this phrase I was singing that say, "Let there be some love. let my people go. I am talking about people de a pie, de Cuba, que está pasando trabajo, luchando para sobrevivir y tener el plato de comida. You know, this is why I live in this place that people call the miracle. A miracle. Miracle for me is America. Everybody's working on this land. And this land have been allowed me to keep on doing this. Playing music, expressing myself culturally. I remember when I was becoming a citizen of this great nation, they say, we want you to give, to enrich our culture with what you bring from your place. This is why I love America. I love the concept of freedom. I'm sorry I'm taking a little weight from the music, but it's part of the music idea from the beginning of my life when I saw the Jackson 5. That says everything to me. Those kids are happy because they are free. And after my teacher called my mother, and she punished me for me to play music from freedom, I say, they got me now. I'm gonna do my thing. And I was by the age of 10 years old. Thank you very much. Thank you, James. Thank you. I love this interview, man. I will do better, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man. This is Mr. James. That's the man.
Angel de Cuba.
Thank you.
That's the man.
Thank you.